Hey, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to learn about management groups, Azure subscriptions, and Azure resource groups. My name is Sushant Satish, and I'm your trainer for this AZ303 certification course. So, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Let us start with understanding what are resource groups. Resource groups are a fundamental element of the Azure platform. A resource group is a logical container for resources deployed on Azure. These resources are anything you create in an Azure subscription, like virtual machines, application gateways, and Cosmos DB instances. All resources must be in a resource group, and a resource can only be a member of a single resource group. Many resources can be moved between Azure resource groups, with some services having a specific limitation or requirements to move. Resource groups can't be nested. Before any resources can be provisioned, you need a resource group for it to be placed in. So let me show you how you can create your resource group in Azure. I'm on my Azure portal. You can either go to resource group directly, or you can click on create a resource and create a resource group. So I'm going to go to resource group. As you can see that I have already few resource group exist in this subscription. To create a new resource group, click on new, select the subscription, provide a name for your resource group. I'm going to call it AZ303, and you can pick a region where you want to place this resource group. I'm going to keep it in US, East US, and click on review and create. After the validation, click on create. You can create a resource group using PowerShell as well. So creating a resource group won't take much time. Looks like my resource group is created. I can click on go to resource group. This is an empty resource group. I don't have any resources at this moment. And there are a lot of tasks I can do within this resource group. So if I go back into resource group and select an older resource group, I can see that there are some resources. Some of the tasks, what I can do is I can select these resources and I can click on move. Move option will give me a couple of options. Move these resources to another region, or to another subscription, or to another resource group. So these resource groups exist to help manage and organize your Azure resources. By placing resources of similar usage, type, or location, you can provide some order and organization to resources you create in Azure. So I'm going to go back to a different resource group. If you delete a resource group, all resources contained within are also deleted. So you can go to delete resource group, and usually, because to give a fail-safe mechanism, you need to type the resource group name to confirm you want to delete it. So I'm going to copy the resource group name, paste it, and this will give me an ability to delete the resource group. Now it is deleting this resource group. So organizing resources by lifecycle can be useful in non-production environment where you might try an experiment but then dispose of it when done. And resource groups make it easy to remove a set of resources all at once. As you can see that my resource group is just deleted. Now let us learn about a resource group organization. The first way to organize is by having consistent naming convention. The name indicates why it is used for, the type of resources contained within it, and the type of resources it is itself. This descriptive name gives us a better idea of what it is. If you have a resource group named AZ500, you might know that it might contain all the resources you have deployed to study your AZ500 examination course. After the preparation, you can basically go inside the resource group and pretty much delete that without worrying that anything which might affect anything else. Another way of resource organization is by having organizing principles. So you might put all resources that are core infrastructure into this resource group. But you could also organize them strictly by resource type. For example, Put all virtual network in one resource group, all the virtual machine in another resource group, and all the Azure Cosmos DB instances in yet another resource group. Another way to organize is you could organize them by environment, example, production, QA, or dev environment. In this case, all production resources are in one resource group, all test resources are in another resource group, and so on. Another way of organizing is by having organizing by department, marketing, finance, HR, etc. Marketing resources go in one resource group, finance in another resource group, and HR in the third resource group. Or you could even use a combination of these strategies and organize by environment and department. Put production finance resources in one resource group and dev finance resources in another, and the same for marketing resources as well. Now let us learn about organizing for authorization. Since resource groups are a scope of RBAC, you can organize resources by who need to administer them. You can go inside a resource group and click on Access Control IAM to decide who administered this group. If a database administration team is responsible for managing all of your Azure SQL database instances, putting them in the same resource group would simplify administration. You could give them the proper permissions at the resource group level to administer the databases within the resource group as well. Another type of organization is organizing for life cycle. So if you delete a resource group, you delete all the resources in it. And use this where resources are more disposable, like non-production environments. So if you deploy 10 servers for a project that you know that will only last a couple of months, you might put them all in a single resource group. And one resource group is easier to clean up than 10 or more resource groups. And another efficient way of organization is organizing for billing. Placing resources in the same resource group is a way to group them for usage in billing reports. So if you are trying to understand how your costs are distributed in your Azure environment, grouping them by resource group is one way to filter and sort the data to better understand where costs are allocated. So now let's have a high level look into understanding what is management groups. If your organization has several subscriptions and you need a way to efficiently manage access, policies, and compliance for those subscriptions, management groups are the right way to go. Azure management groups provide a level of scope above the subscription. You organize subscription into containers called management groups and apply your governance condition to the management groups. And management group enable organizational alignment for your Azure subscription through custom hierarchies and grouping. You can use management group for targeting of policies and spend budgets across subscription and inheritance down the hierarchies. And another way of using management group is for compliance and cost reporting by organization. All subscriptions within a management group automatically inherit the conditions applied to the management group. For example, you can apply policies to a management group that limit the regions available for virtual machine creation. This policy would be applied to all management groups, subscriptions, and resources under that management group by only allowing VMs to be created in that region. So let me show you where you can find management groups. I'm on my Azure portal. On this global search box, I'm going to type in management group. Click on management group. As you can see that I already have one management group exist. You can create a new management group by clicking on add management group. Give a management group ID, and this cannot be updated after creation. And what do you want to call this management group? This is display name. And basically click on save. That creates your first management group. So I'm going to go into my management group. As you can see that I have one management group exist. You can create a new management group by clicking on add management group. The first information is requested is management group ID. The management group ID is the directory unique identifier that is used to submit commands on the management group. This identifier is not editable after creation as it is used throughout the Azure system to identify this group. Second property you will add is the display name. The display name field is the name that is displayed within the Azure portal. A separate display name is an optional field when creating the management group and can be changed at any time. Now let us look into Azure subscription and service limits. So if you want to raise the limit or quota above the default limit, you need to open an online customer support request, and that activity doesn't cost you anything. Microsoft support team will be increasing the limit or quota for you. Some limits are managed at a regional level. This is some of the following limits when you use an Azure Resource Manager and Azure Resource Groups. That concludes this episode. In the next episode, we're going to learn about users and groups. So I will see you on the next one. Until then, take care.